Hello everyone. In today's video in this series Shadow Work with Tarot, I want to talk about the card entitled The Moon in the Major Arcana of the Tarot system. This image is from the Tarot of the Vampires deck by Ian Daniels. I'm including it as a card that has negative connotation because a lot of people feel when this card shows up, while they might not be physically affected by the fact that it's shown up in a reading, the element of secrecy, of lies, of untruths, the unconscious and subconscious aspect that is included in the moon can make some people feel uncomfortable. So this is why I've chosen to include this card in this Shadow Work series. When the moon shows up, I most often align with the energy of needing to listen to our intuition and take a more feminine approach, what we would most of us term as feminine, of an approach that is more in alignment with the High Priestess and not with the Magician, which is one of sitting back, listening to what's going on underneath the surface, pausing and really listening to the inner voice as well, and realizing that the next step must be taken listening to that true inner self, and honoring the fact that our intuition might indeed be picking up on the fact that there's an element of lying, intrigue, theft, something like that going on around us, or involved in the situation that we're asking about. When the moon shows up too, and especially in the Tarot of the Vampires deck, it's really encouraging us to do shadow work and to take a deep, long, involved journey through the labyrinth of our own self, and taking a look at the sides and the attributes and the traits within ourselves that we do not acknowledge because we are deeply afraid of them, and therefore take on their own monstrous personality and being within us because we will not honor and love and give them the light of day. And so the moon, especially in this deck, is inviting us to really do some of that deep blood work and bloodletting and honoring and loving of all the aspects of ourselves. And so the moon is, of course, as in part of the major arcana, but in its own right, quite a powerful, powerful card in tarot, and inviting us to take a real deep look, a true look at our innermost being and our own power and strength, and to take a real look underneath the surface of what's going on around us, especially in the relationships around us as well. The moon is also the birth card of Pisces, so that gives you an added aspect of the kind of leaning of creating drama that might be around us and that we might be involved in ourselves when the moon shows up. But also that deep well of inner knowing and ancient knowledge that we all have access to if we will allow ourselves to be still long enough to peer into and down into that well and see what's underneath the surface of the still water. So the moon is a very powerful card in tarot and has a really great and deep magical message for us. And it's a card that, again, can be concerning for people when it shows up, but that is actually very exciting and wonderful to draw when it shows up in a reading. So thank you for joining me for this video in the series, and I will see you in the next. Have a great day, guys.